Hey, Gary here with AI blogging day 32. Having a little bit of fun today by going off script and creating a keyword that I just thought of as I was watching some training that is using blogging to set up a $100 a day online business. Here we are inside of the Google Search Console. We have 974 impressions so far, which is pretty good if you go back and you look. Sunday, April 16th. Till today, May 15th. Today is actually May 16th, but Google Search Console is only going up to May 15th. You can see the impressions are starting to come. The clicks will happen, I do believe, as we keep creating the content, but the idea here is you have to be patient. So back inside of Grooveblog, you can see the blog has come together quite well. And here are the two blog posts that I just wrote yesterday. A to Z of cosmology terms, a glossary. A to Z of astronomy terms, a glossary. And if you go to ChatGPT, I will show you how I came up with those. Here is the prompt I used. Acting as an astronomer or an amateur astronomer with 20 years experience, give me the list of things you'd now put in your A to Z of astronomy terms glossary based on what you'd wish you had access to when you first started. The idea, the concept here is I'm trying to tap into the thought process of someone that's been doing astronomy for 20 years and looks back and says, man, if I'd have known these terms when I first got started, I would have been so much further ahead. ChatGPT comes back and says, sure, here's an A to Z list of astronomy terms I'd recommend to any aspiring or amateur astronomer. And you can see the first one here, aperture for A, the diameter of the lens or mirror in a telescope determining how much light the telescope can gather. That's pretty dry. And you can see the rest of the terms here. And I was thinking to myself, that is really pretty dry. Let's turn it into a blog post by telling ChatGPT first, perfect, thanks. Now acting as an SEO expert, write a blog post using all these terms in a post titled A to Z of astronomy terms glossary. Please go deep into the subject, tapping into the knowledge of the 20-year amateur astronomer as needed, and write as if you were teaching a 12th grade high school class, but keep it at the 5th grade reading level and add interesting analogies and real world examples where they make sense to help the explanation of the information. That may look familiar if you click on the response manager. If you scroll down, you will see that that is our prompt right here. Write a blog post section, 12th grade with analogy. You can see right there, I just took this prompt and edited it for this particular use case. Now you can see it jumped in and it said A to Z of astronomy, terms glossary. Hello, space enthusiast. Ever looked up at the night sky and wondered what's really going on up there? Let's embark on a cosmic journey from A to Z and learn some interesting astronomy terms along the way. Don't worry, we'll keep it fun, like a game of cosmic Scrabble. A is for aperture. Think of aperture as the eye of a telescope. Just like our eyes, the bigger the aperture, the more light a telescope can gather. It's like having a bigger window to look at the stars. Way better than what we got if you scroll up here. The diameter of the lens or mirror in a telescope, determining how much light the telescope can gather. So I think ChatGPT did a really good job. And then at the end, actually I had to ask it here to please continue. It's been a while since I've had to do that with ChatGPT. Things are a little bogged down, most likely. You can see here, or actually you can see the ending. And there you have it, folks, an A to Z glossary of astronomy terms with these in your cosmic toolbox. You're well on your way to becoming a seasoned stargazer. Remember, the universe is vast and full of wonders. So keep looking up. You never know what you might discover. Of course, here in the blog, you can see I wrote the A to Z of astronomy terms as well as the A to Z of cosmology terms. So I took that same idea, acting as an amateur cosmologist with 20 years of experience, give me the list of things you'd now put in the A to Z of cosmology terms based on what you'd wish you would know. Sure, I'd be happy to do it. And here you can see ChatGPT giving me a little different output versus the way it did. Here it had multiple terms for multiple letters, so it listed those out, and that was really cool. But again, quite boring. I had to ask it to please continue, you can see here. But again, quite boring if you were to read those. They're just definitions. So once it finished, I did the same thing here. I used my same prompt and I said, please go deep into the subject, tapping into the knowledge of the 20-year amateur cosmologist. Then you can see it started writing the blog post. Hello, space explorers. Today we're setting off on an exciting journey through the cosmos from A to Z. Then it dove in and you can see how it wrote this a little differently. A is for absolute magnitude. Imagine you're at a concert. The band seems louder when you're at the front than when you're at the back. Similarly, stars can seem brighter or dimmer based on how close or far they are from us. The absolute magnitude of a star is how bright it would look if all stars were at a standard distance. And then you can see it continued. Next, we come to acceleration of the universe. Then it said B, C, then it did next again. But you can see down here, it said moving on to H, we found Hubble's law. And it wrote this entire blog post completely different than it wrote the other blog post. And then at the end, you can see that it wrote the SEO excerpt for me. And again, it was a simple excerpt, unlock the universe with A to Z cosmology glossary. The easy to understand guide turns complex concepts into fun learning. Start your cosmic journey now. I would say now is a time, if you want to try to accomplish this, start your journey with ChatGPT, AI, blogging, using Koala. They're all great tools. They all give you a little bit different output. And then when you take the time to read the output and then edit it and see if you can get ChatGPT or the AI to make it better or enhance it just by giving it an additional prompt or giving it additional information in that prompt, it changes the output. And sometimes the output's going to look a little different. And you just sort of have to go with that. I think you can always look at it and say, I like this style. Let me see if I can figure out or ask it, can you tell me how you came up with this style? Because don't forget, as you are creating the content, you can reach back and you can just ask it, how did you do this? What prompt would I use to get this same output? Give it a try, because my hope is that this case study inspires you to start blogging, to start creating content, to start using the AI as your assistant to help you where you are stuck. If you're enjoying this case study, give this video a thumbs up. Any questions, let me know in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.